And thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. We're following breaking news of a deadly mass shooting in Columbia County.
The neighbor came over and said he shot his cousin and that his cousin shot him, and he was going out to find out what was happening.
It happened somewhere along Ilmari Road, a rural area of Clackamas County, just before 1:30 this afternoon. State and local police responded to find 5 shooting victims. 2 were pronounced dead at the scene. Now, this is a live look at the area where police were investigating. One of the 3 surviving victims is in critical condition and was life-flighted. The Columbia County Major Crimes Team is investigating. The sheriff's office says there is no longer a threat to the people in the area. As that scanner traffic indicated, the shooting seemed to be some kind of domestic dispute, but law enforcement have not confirmed what led up to this shooting or anyone involved. Follow KGW News on air and on our website for the latest details. All right, turning now to weather. We're seeing light showers today in the Portland metro, but chances for snow increase tomorrow and through the start of next week. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us tonight. Joe, when will this precipitation start to pick up for us?
Yeah, we're really going from extreme to, or lack of rain, I should say, from last month to a good amount of rain here the last couple of days. And we're not going to be looking at a snowstorm at all, to say the least, but we are going to be looking at snow levels dropping the next couple of days down to 500 feet thanks to this cold air moving in from British Columbia. Now, as we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, again, it's all elevation dependent. If you're at 500 feet and higher, yeah, you're going to be seeing a little snow falling through. If you're 1,000 feet and higher, that's where the heavy accumulation is going to be. But as we go into tomorrow morning, that's kind of the timing where these snow showers will pick up. And then we'll see some dry conditions, maybe some sun breaks with some rain showers mixed in. But we do have some watches and warnings. I'll show you that in a second. But downtown Portland right now, 45 degrees and dry over in Newport, a temperature of 45 degrees. But if you're driving over to the higher elevations, you're going to be running into winter storm watches and warnings, as well as some winter weather advisories throughout the Coast Range, as well as the Oregon Cascades. You can kind of see where those advisories are in place. And as we look at the kind of the snow levels the next couple of days, above 2,000 feet, you could be looking at 2 to 5 inches of snow between tonight and the end of tomorrow. Again, down on the valley floor, John, we're not going to be seeing anything. Maybe some light accumulation at times along the bark dust and the grass. Other than that, it's going to be more dry than wet a good portion of tomorrow. I'll talk more about that and what can we expect to see over the next couple of days, because that weather impact alert will be in place from tomorrow all the way in the middle part of next week.
All right, Joe, thank you. Caught on camera, Portland police arrested a man who crashed into a downtown streetcar stop while trying to get away from officers, with 3 people almost getting hit. Dashcam footage from a witness captured the moment it happened. Police say just before 10 this morning, an officer found a stolen vehicle parked and occupied near Northwest 14th and Johnson. Before officers could confront the driver, he drove away, speeding the wrong way down a one-way street until he lost control and crashed into the streetcar stop at Northwest 10th and Gleason. Officers chased the driver down and arrested him. He was first taken to the hospital, but is expected to be booked into jail later today. No one else was hurt and the streetcar was not damaged. In Clackamas County, deputies arrested a driver after a hit and run involving a person on her bicycle. Deputies believe 60-year-old Cornelio Sanchez Ortiz hit the cyclist in the area of Southeast Causey and 85th Avenue sometime Friday afternoon. Sanchez Ortiz left the scene, but deputies found and arrested him at his home. The victim was still in the hospital as of this morning. And in Vancouver, 2 people were displaced after a house fire this morning. A neighbor called 911 at around 7:30 after hearing explosions and seeing flames coming from a house off of Southeast 19th near Ellsworth Road. Firefighters got the fire under control in less than 15 minutes. No one was hurt. The fire is under investigation. An update as a strike against a local grocery chain expanded today. Workers at the Seven Corners News Season voted yesterday to join the ongoing strike at the Arbor Lodge location. The picketing started Tuesday following a claim that New Seasons discriminatorily fired the labor union's treasurer. We reached out to the company, who said they're committed to handling terminations consistent with protocols. They called the suggestion that the firing was based on union affiliation unfounded. Black History Month begins today, and several local groups kicked off the celebration with a big pop-up museum event. Our Celine Stevens was there for the opening of the exhibition. Celine.
John, it's called the Black History Month event. I got a chance to be there on its opening day in the Horizon Enterprise building in Old Town, where people were free to visit the pop-up museum, shop, listen to music, and view galleries, all teaching Black history.
This needs to be on our face. It needs to be 3D. We need to be proud of this, and not just stuff that happened in Alabama, but things that happen here in Portland.
Black History Month has officially kicked off, and some Black-serving organizations across Portland are celebrating what they're calling a Black History Month.
We celebrate Black history every day in our community, but February is just a chance to double down on that.
Juma Say works with the 1803 Fund, an investment group that helps support North and Northeast Portland initiatives. The 1803 Fund sponsored the pop-up museum, which runs all month.
Growing up in Portland, I really only remember a handful of times in which I went to any museum space that centered Black life in any kind of way. And it's beautiful to be here now as an adult and see 3 floors of a building dedicated to just our life and our joy.
Each floor of the pop-up museum serves a specific purpose. On the 3rd floor, you'll find small businesses and vendors. The 2nd floor serves as a space for events, and here on the 1st floor, you'll find photos and displays showing just some of the history of the Black community here in Oregon.
The hanging artifacts that are taking up the main gallery space, those are by Oregon Black pioneers. All of their works are specifically focusing on the achievements and lives of the very first Black folks who came to Oregon despite the state's very well-known exclusionary laws.
Several Black-serving organizations around Portland contributed to the pop-up museum's events, including the Albina Music Trust, Word is Bond, and more. Gloria Coleman grew up in the Albina area, a historically Black neighborhood in Portland, and says this event is important to her.
It's bringing me back, to my roots. So just seeing this is there were so many people of color before me that paved the way.
This event comes at a time when there are challenges to special observances like Black History Month, Juneteenth, and Martin Luther King Day, and a recent Trump administration executive order to end federal DEI programs. But that's not stopping the Black community in Portland.
We live our lives without permits and permission, so him taking that back is, not really affecting the way that I feel and called to do the work that I do.
Despite the recent messaging from the administration, the White House did recognize February as National Black History Month today. As for Portland's pop-up museum event, it will be open Wednesday through Sundays this month. Back to you.
All right, our Celine Stevens tonight. Thank you, Celine. All right, time to talk a little bit more weather. Showers were light today, but state and city crews are not taking any chances with the weather this weekend. They're telling all of us to be ready for anything. Our Catherine Cook has that story.
We're going to start this story off with some file video. A quick reminder of how snow, even a little bit, can send Portland drivers into a tailspin. Now, the amount of snow you may see in the coming week could vary greatly depending on where you are. So Portland transportation officials have some advice.
At this point, the bottom line really is vigilance and being prepared mentally to drive for the conditions you find.
Dylan Rivera wants you to know PBOT's crews are ready. Their priority is clearing one passable lane in each direction for public transit, first responders, and everyone who needs to get around. On Friday, PBOT issued an advisory asking drivers to be extra careful in the coming days, especially overnight, in the mornings, and in higher elevations. That said,
it's too soon to say anything like avoid travel Monday morning.
And then there are the freeways, I-5, 205, 26, and 84. State transportation officials have their eyes on them.
We are ready. We spend literally months preparing for this.
Ryan McCrary with ODOT encourages drivers to check road conditions before heading out. He suggests tripcheck.com for that. If you're crossing mountain passes, he says carry chains and know how to use them. Also, build in extra travel time.
Never, ever try and pass a snowplow on the right.
Speaking of Sanders and plows, ODOT entered this winter facing a $354 million budget shortfall, which the state said could eat into winter road maintenance. But McCrary says they're fine this season thanks to a $19 million bailout from Governor Kotek for winter road maintenance.
that funding has basically helped keep our maintenance levels steady with what they've been in past years.
Good thing, because we might get a snowstorm soon.